Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Livestrong Tech bringing you another video, and this video is going to be about the Google Pixel 8 Pro and my review on it. There's some things that I do like about the phone. There's some things that I don't like about the phone that I think you guys should know. And yeah, with that being said, we're just going to get right into it. If you like anything in this video, please drop a like or leave a comment. It really helps the channel in growing. But with that being said, let's just get right into the review. So the first thing I really like about the phone is its design and the look and the feel of it. This is the bay color, but the phone comes in porcelain, hazel, bay, and mint. I think all the colors look pretty good. Google usually does a pretty good job in the colors that they have with the phone, but so I like that. And I really just like the look and the feel of the phone. Like it really feels really good in the hands. It's not too big. The edges aren't like sharp like on the Galaxy S24 Ultra, and it's not that heavy like on like the iPhone kind of is. So yeah, I like the sides. I even like the way the camera looks. It's nice and unique the way this looks. Next thing that I want to talk about that I like is the smoothness of the Pixel UI. Pixel UI, like I said in another video, it's one of the smoothest, if not the smoothest, Android skin you can get out there. It's smoother than One UI. I think it's a little bit smoother than Oxygen OS, which is pretty smooth, and it's as smooth as any other iPhone. So you're not going to have any issue with that. Even if me going into the phone right now, as you can see, if I'm logging into the phone, the fingerprint animation is very smooth. And then, like, if we go into an app like Instagram, it's going pretty smooth. I mean, 120 hertz, you already know about that. So yeah, I mean, the it's very very smooth. Like in terms of the animations, they're very very pleasing to the eye. I really love Pixel UI, and I think anybody would get the phone, they wouldn't have any complaints about the smoothness of the phone because I think it's very very smooth. So yeah, I will say the smoothness of Pixel UI is insane. It's really really nice, and I really really like it. Next thing that I really like about the phone is good launcher support. Actually, great launcher support. So, Android phones that are like at least non-pixels that I know about, they have issues with the animations of launchers. Like going home animation, it just looks kind of weird. Sometimes there's like a delay where there's nothing on the screen. But with my Pixel 8 Pro, I don't have any issues with any launcher that I use on this phone. I use Nova, I've used Lawn Chair, I've used Microsoft Launcher, I've used Niagara. They all work really, really good, and the animations are very, very smooth. So if we look at the phone right here, um, this is on Lawn Chair, and as you can see, Lawn Chair is really, really smooth. If we go back into Instagram and then swipe back, you can see that animations are smooth. Like it goes, it's very very smooth. That's what I'm just gonna say. Like, but with using like a Samsung, or with the One Plus phone, ever since like Android 13 or 14, the launchers have had some weird issue, and I'm not really sure why. Actually, I think I'm not sure exactly why, but I think it's having to do with some API and um, not being able to have access to the API to make the home screen animation very, very smooth. But with Google, they do give you access to the API for third party developers like Nova, like Lawn Chair. So they can implement that, and then that can make animations like really, really smooth, like on this phone. So I just hope that, you know, maybe in the next Android version, all Androids will be super, super smooth with Nova Launcher support, Microsoft Launcher, Lawn Chair, everything like that. That's one of my wish lists for like Android 15. So hopefully they can fix that and hopefully things work well with that. But with this phone, I really do like how there's great launcher support. They're very, very optimized for launchers like Nova Launcher, Microsoft Launcher, Lawn Chair, things like that. So I love that about this phone for sure. Next thing I really like about the phone is the camera. I'm going to show some photos of this against the S24 Ultra. These days, I mean, in flagship phones, the cameras are just absolutely amazing. We can go back and forth all day which camera is better, the iPhone, the S24, the Google Pixel. I think the truth is, it's up to personal preference. Everybody has their own preference on how the colors and everything that they want to look on the phone. I think the Google Pixel, their colors are a little bit more on the cooler side. I've seen in recent past history. Um, but compared to the S24, it's just up to personal preference which one you like better. You know, some people think the iPhone is the best. Some people think the Samsung's is the best. Some people might even think OnePlus looks the best. And some people might think the Pixel looks the best. But the camera on here is really, really good. I give it a 10 out of 10. Takes really good shots. The software and everything Google does with it is really, really good. So, yeah, I got no complaints about the camera at all. Next thing I like about the phone, 7 years of updates. This phone is guaranteed 7 years of updates. And I know that there are going to be some people out there who want to keep this phone till the wheels fall off. Well, you can at least keep it for 7 years and still have an OS update. So that means that this phone will get Android 21, which is actually insane to think about. But that's really, really awesome at the same time. So, yeah, 7 years of updates. I think that every flagship Android phone should be getting this from now on, because the Samsung, the S24, they're getting that. This phone is getting it. iPhones usually they get like 6 to 7 years. We know that already. And one of my complaints in my last video was OnePlus. They need to adopt 7 years of updates. So hopefully they can do that too. Any other Android manufacturer, I think that they should do that as well. So yeah, 7 years of updates, awesome. I really love it. And I know some of you guys are going to love it too. Next thing I really like about this phone are the AI features. There's a lot of AI features, and I think I'm going to do a separate video on all the Google AI features just so you guys can know about it, because I think there's a lot of them. And but I can show you one if you want me to. So here's one, and it's the call screening one. So if we go and I call, we can just call the local Walmart around here, and we can just call them. So the call screening feature, it gives you like a visual. As you can see, look at that. This should be on every single phone. This is absolutely a game changer. This makes me want to use the Pixel more than any other phone just because this call screening thing is literally that good. The call screening feature is absolutely amazing. So, yeah, I really love this call screening. I think it uses AI. I think this has been a feature on other Pixels, but the call screening feature is really, really good. And I'll make another video on all the AI features that the Google Pixel 8 Pro has, because there's so many of them. But some other ones would be the circle to search, which is on the Galaxy, and I really like that one. Some of the camera has a few AI features, live translate, call screening. Oh, that is like really, really good as well. When somebody calls you and you can press call screen and a system will answer it for you. I think that the AI is a selling point of this phone. And if you really want the smartest smartphone like that's out there right now, I would say the Google Pixel 8 is probably the smartest smartphone out there. And the next thing that I want to talk about, which is a thing that I do like about it, but I mean, it's not like, the best thing in the world, is the Pixel Watch. This watch is a really good watch. It's a smooth watch. It's, it tracks workouts fine. I have no issues doing that. I just wish the battery was better, of course. But the Pixel Watch is a good watch. So I think that's a watch that some people might want to buy when they get this phone. Now, I'll give you this one story. So I had a Pixel Watch 2, because this is a Pixel Watch 1. But when I got a Pixel Watch 2, when I tell you that it was the buggiest Pixel Watch I have ever had. I mean, it was ghost touching, randomly shutting down, overheating. I had to return that watch because the watch was so bad. And I think that had to just have been a manufacturer defect. That's all right. But I decided to order a Pixel Watch 1 instead, because it's basically the same watch with a few minor upgrades. And this Pixel Watch 1 is really, really good. I love it. It's an awesome watch. It tracks workouts fine. It tracks your sleep fine. Some things could be better in it, but I really like the Pixel Watch. It's an awesome watch. Feels good on the wrist. It's it's just a really good watch. So, yeah, those are all the things that I do like about this phone. Now we're going to get into the things that I don't like about this phone. And the first thing that I don't like about this phone is there's no 256 gigabyte base storage variant. This phone starts at $1,000 and it only gives you 128 gigabytes. Google's only giving you 128 gigabytes. That's a definite no. Like, this phone should have 256 gigabytes minimum starting out. Now, like the regular Pixel 8, I can understand that. You can start that out at 128 gigabytes. I feel every phone should start out at 200. Every flagship phone should start out at 256 gigabytes of storage. That's just me. So I don't know why this phone does not have 256 gigabytes starting out. 128 gigabytes, I don't think that's really enough, especially if you're doing a lot of videos, you're doing a lot of, you got a lot of apps, you got a lot of music, you got a lot of photos. That 128 gigabytes is going to be used really, really fast. So that's one thing I don't like about it. And I hope that the Pixel 9 starts out at 256. Because even the iPhone 15 Pro Max starts out at 256. The Galaxy S24 Plus and the S24 Ultra start out at 256 gigabytes. The OnePlus starts out at 256 gigabytes. So this phone needs to be starting out at 256 gigabytes as well. 128 gigabytes for like $1,000 on this Android phone. That's not enough, and it should be bigger. Next thing I don't like about this phone is the battery life. I think it could be better. Now, I think the battery life on this phone is generally pretty decent, but I think it could be better. I'm going to put my battery usage statistics on the screen, but overall, I think I'm getting around 7.5 hours screen on time daily with this phone. Just regular usage, sometimes doing some navigating, sometimes checking a couple games, sometimes doing some things like that. I think that this phone's battery could be better. I'd like to hit the 8-hour mark without having to use any battery saving features like turning off location, turning off Bluetooth, things of that nature. So I think that it's a good phone and it's got some decent battery life, but the battery life could be. So another thing that I don't like about the phone is just some pretty small UI decisions. So on the Pixel 8 Pro, the search bar cannot be removed on the Pixel UI. I'm using Launcher right now, and you can remove it, but on the Pixel 8 Pro and Pixel UI, you cannot remove the search bar. I wish that you could remove that. Give users the option to be able to do that. I don't really know why they don't have that, but I think that they should give users the option to remove the search bar instead of having to download a third-party launcher to do it. And another UI decision that I don't really like is these toggles here. Like, for example, I've got my Pixel Watch connected. If I just want to completely turn off Bluetooth, I have to swipe down and then I have to click into it and then I have to turn off Bluetooth. I don't like that. That's just extra taps that I shouldn't really need to do, because if we look at Samsung and we look at theirs, just looking at the Samsung's UI, you can just turn off and turn on Bluetooth at will. I don't know why the screen's looking like that. It's very strange, but you can turn off and turn on Bluetooth at will. And you only need one click to do it. So I think that that could be better in Android. I don't know why it's like how it is there, because that's just extra taps for no reason. So yeah, I hope that could be improved sometime. I don't know if it's probably not even going to be improved next year, but I wish that I could tap it just once to turn on and off Bluetooth. And you have to do the same thing for Wi-Fi as well. So that's a little small UI decision that I don't really like. And then there's another UI feature that I don't like. I would just like to see this phone get a little bit more customization. Now I get it. This is supposed to be vanilla Android. It's not supposed to have a lot of built-in customization. That's not what Google's going for. But one customization that I just would like to have is being able to change the shape of the icons. These are circle shape icons, but sometimes I feel like using square. Sometimes I feel like using squircle. Sometimes I want to use maybe rounded edges. Maybe I want to use like a hexagon or something like that. And then with this phone, unless you download third-party launchers, you can't do that. So I just hope that they build that into the phone. Maybe Android 15 because you can change, you can adapt the icons to like fit the color of like Material You, but you can't change the shape of them. So that's just a little thing, but maybe they could just add that in the next Android update, possibly, instead of having to download third party launchers. I would like it if they added being able to change the icon shape of the specific icons. So, yeah. And another thing that I don't really like is sometimes do not disturb. It doesn't turn off automatically sometimes, and the apps that you do want it to interrupt, sometimes they don't even interrupt. I don't know what the issue with that is. Maybe it's just the apps themselves. I don't know, and I don't know why sometimes do not disturb does not turn off automatically. For me, I have it set to turn on at 10 o'clock and to turn off at 7 in the morning. For some reason, sometimes it just does not turn off, and I have to turn it off myself. So I think that that could be a little bit better. I don't, and it syncs with the watch do not disturb, but like I said, sometimes it just doesn't turn off in the morning, and I have to turn it off for some weird reason. I just don't really know why, but maybe that could be a little bit better. Um, yeah, it's not a big issue, but I think that that could be a little bit better. Now, the last thing that I really don't like about this phone, and this is a thing that is probably the worst thing about this phone. The phone gets too hot during normal use. I don't know. Well, actually, I kind of have an idea from what I've seen. They say that it's because of the Tensor G3 chip being fabricated by Samsung instead of TSMC. Um, well, it's just gets too hot during normal use. I mean, I could be scrolling on TikTok, it gets a little hot. As I'm doing this review, it got a little bit warm, even just scrolling, just a little bit. And for gaming, it just gets like a little bit too hot, especially when you're in intense games. I think it gets a little bit too hot, although it performs pretty decently with games, and you're really not going to have an issue unless you're playing like super, super high intense games. But the phone gets too hot during normal use. Maybe they could add like some active cooling. I know Google's not a hardware company, but maybe they could add some sort of AI feature to help with the cooling of the phone since they really love AI. Maybe they could add something like that. But I think the phone gets a little bit too hot during normal usage. And on a hot day, I can understand. Most phones are going to get hot. But when this phone gets hot, it starts thermal throttling. And when it starts thermal throttling, it starts to get so laggy and so bad. The phone almost becomes unusable. And that's something that I really don't like. It doesn't really happen on the Samsung. Sometimes it can happen when it gets kind of hot. And on a hot day, if I'm outside, it can happen when I'm in the car driving. Sometimes it can happen on, any phone. But for this phone, it happens a little bit too much and a little bit too often. So that could be a little bit better. Tensor G3, maybe I've heard some rumors that it's going to be fabricated by TSMC in like 2025 or something like that, which would help with the cooling so that the chip is not hot instead of being fabricated by Samsung and whatever. So hopefully they can improve that in the future because this phone gets a little bit too hot during normal use. So yeah, those are the things that I don't like about this phone. And that's really it. Other than that, this phone has grown on me. This phone is a really good phone. I love this device. It's really smooth most of the time. The performance is fine. The Tensor G3 chip is fine. It performs fine in games. It performs fine, alongside with the camera, which is great. I really do just love this phone. It grows on you because I'm somebody that's used to like Samsung, heavily skinned One UI. But once you get this phone, it's pretty basic. It's vanilla Android for the most part. And I think you're going to like it. And that's something to appreciate, the fact that it's not heavily skinned and the fact that it doesn't have it has no bloatware at all pre-installed on the phone. So that's another good thing as well. But yeah, this phone is just really, really good. It's grown on me, and I think that it will grow on you too if you were to give it a chance and you really like the vanilla Android experience on a simple phone. One question is, should you buy? And I'm going to say it depends on what you want in a phone. If you want a phone with the best camera, or one of the best cameras, if not the best camera, if you want a phone that is going to be the smartest smartphone with the AI features that you can take advantage of, And if you don't care about the at least just the best gaming performance, then I would say that this is a good phone for you. So, if you got some money and should you buy a Samsung or should you buy a Google Pixel 8 Pro? I'm going to say I would say buy a Samsung. I would say buy S24 Ultra or S24 Plus. Just because Samsung, they have the latest and greatest processor. They also have great cameras. They also have some AI features that you can take advantage of. And you can get an S24 for a similar price or maybe catch it a little cheaper on sale. But yeah, I would get an S24 Ultra over this phone. Even though I do love this phone, I would still prefer the S24 Ultra. Now another would be, should I buy the Pixel 8 Pro or should I buy the OnePlus 12? And I'm going to say definitely the OnePlus 12. For the money, $799, this phone beats this phone, the Google Pixel 8, in a lot of different ways. The performance is better. The battery is better. It's still a very smooth phone. The camera is still pretty good on this phone, even though it doesn't have like Google's AI software features, and it doesn't have a lot of the AI features that Google has. But this phone is still a good buy for the money, and most people don't care about those AI features anyway, so I would buy this phone over the Google Pixel 8 Pro anyway. And then we got the iPhone. Obviously, the Android versus iPhone debate is, it's an ever-going debate, and it's never gonna end. But if you were thinking about should I buy an iPhone or I should buy a Google Pixel 8 Pro, I would say it depends on what you already have. If you already have a Samsung or maybe a older Google Pixel, I would say try something new. Try the iPhone out for a few days. If you don't like it, just return it and upgrade to another Android phone or another Google phone. See what you like about the iPhone. If you like it, use that iPhone. Or if you have an iPhone, should you upgrade to like the iPhone 15 or should you just upgrade to a Google, maybe switch to Android if you are curious about it? And I would say just try something new, Maybe you like the Google Pixel 8 Pro, you never know. Maybe you like a simple UI, which is the iPhone, like a simple UI. Maybe you would like that. I would just say try something new. You can always try the phone out for a few days, and then you can just return it if you don't like it. But yeah, other than that, I would say that this phone is a really good phone. I really like it, but there's just some things that I don't like about it. But overall, I do love this phone. The AI features are awesome. The camera is awesome. I love the smoothest of Pixel UI. So yeah, that's my review on the Google Pixel 8 Pro. So hope you guys liked it, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. But leave your thoughts and feedback on the comments, and I will be viewing those and I will be seeing those. And thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you later. Cheers. Peace. Bye.